Hey guys, it's Heidi again and welcome back to this week's episode of Baby Name Sunday. I hope you guys had an absolutely amazing week. Today I'm going to share with you guys a few of my favorite name combinations. So I'm going to give you guys some first names as well as the middle names that I've kind of come up with over the past few months here. So if this is your first time here, my name is Heidi and every single week I upload baby name lists here on YouTube. I also do have an Instagram account. It's at Baby Name Sunday. I'll have it right here and then also down in the description. But make sure you guys are subscribed here. Make sure you guys are hitting the bell notification so you don't miss any of my lists that I put out. I actually put out 2 videos last week, so you guys can go indulge. They will be linked down below, but let's get into this list. So I'm gonna start off with a girl's name. This one is so sweet, and that is the name Tuscan Peach. So spelled T-U-S-C-A-N and then Peach, P-E-A-C-H. I thought that this together is such a fresh and fun, fruity name. I personally love travel names, so I got Tuscan from the name Tuscany, which is a region in Italy known for like beautiful Renaissance art, and it's actually the home of Michelangelo's statue of David. So it has a lot of history and culture behind the name, and I thought Tuscan for a girl would just be so beautiful. And then as for the middle name Peach, I thought it was kind of bold, kind of fun. I'm actually in love with the color orange. It's like my favorite color. It's so beautiful. You guys have seen I actually have a wall that's kind of this Tuscany orange color, and peaches are that kind of Tuscany orange color. So I thought that this mixed together, Tuscan Peach, really flows nicely. It's literally describing that Tuscany orange color. It's like that peachy color. And any kind of fruit names like plum, cherry, they always make for such fun middle names. Definitely I've heard these names as a first name as well, but Tuscan Peach just had that sweet ring to it that I absolutely loved. My next girl's name I have here is the name SUVI ETOILE. So spelled S-U-V-I and then ETOILE, spelled E-T-O-I-L-E. So this one is just such a stunner to me. I actually made this as a post on Instagram as well, and a lot of you guys were absolutely loving it. But SUVI ETOILE, like, it sounds so gorgeous with that étoile because it is a French name meaning star, and the name SUVI. SUVI is so sweet. It's only 4 letters. I just love how simplistic it is and how beautiful it sounds. But SUVI itself is a Finnish originated name meaning summer. So literally translation of this name is summer star. So I thought this was just so beyond beautiful, has some beautiful celestial ties to it, but just that name is just so sweet and definitely fit for a summer baby, especially maybe if they're born in the nighttime. They were born underneath the stars. And now moving over to a boy's combo name. This one is again very nautical, very sea inspired, and that is the name TASMAN AZUL. So spelled T-A-S-M-A-N, and then AZUL is spelled A-Z-U-L. This one I am just obsessed with. I personally love ocean and sea inspired names, but Tasman, I thought this was so handsome. It's actually a Dutch name referring to obviously the Tasman Sea, and then Azul is actually a Spanish originated name meaning blue. So I thought that together, Tasman Azul, like, it has such an exotic sound to it, and it literally means like the blue sea. And I thought this was so perfect for a little beach baby boy. Definitely more rare names, but they're so usable. And then as for a girl, I was thinking, okay, how can I make this into a girl's name because I love it so much? You can totally still use Tasman, but spelled T-A-S-M-Y-N, and then still that middle name Azul because it totally works. So Tasman Azul or Tasman Azul. And the next name I have for you guys here is actually Japanese inspired, but with a little bit of a surname inspiration as well, and that is the name KENZO SHEP. So spelled K-E-N-Z-O and then middle name SHEP, S-H-E-P. So this one here is such a great balanced name. I feel like Kenzo is just so fun, very bold, and I love the nickname Ken for it, or Zo. I think it's just so handsome and it's really fun with that Z in it. I feel like it just has that spunk to it. But always with Japanese originated names, they always have the most amazing meanings behind them. So Kenzo is Japanese originated, meaning strong and healthy. I totally think that Kenzo KENZO can really work for a rainbow baby's name, just with that strong and healthy meaning. That's all you want, is your baby boy strong and healthy. And then for a middle name, SHEP, I kind of added this as a really cool ending because I feel like KENZO is like KENZO and then SHEP. Like, it has that stern ending, and it's actually a shorter name for shepherd, which is obviously an occupational name meaning sheep herder, but it's also known a lot of the time as a surname, and surnames are always so handsome for boys' names. So I thought that KENZO SHEP just has that really nice ring to it, and I also really like the balance between kind of a little bit more spunky but with a great meaning behind it, and then that surname. Moving back over to the girl side, this is probably one of my favorite name combinations right now, and definitely both of them are very rare, and that is the name KIRSI Blush. So spelled K-I-R-S-I and then blush, B-L-U-S-H. I love middle names that are word inspired. I think they work so well for making a really fun, cutesy name where you can still have that non-word name as the first name. You can kind of play around and have fun with that middle name. And the name KIRSI is Finnish originated, meaning frost. And then you have blush. So I thought that this kind of reminds me of, like, you know, in the winter time when your like cheeks are cold, if you have a winter time where you live, your cheeks are cold, you're feeling a little frosty, and your cheeks go all blush pink. I thought that this is so sweet, and I thought it was so cute. And I also did a little bit more research, and I also found that KIRSI means cherry as well. So it means both frost and cherry, and then you have the middle name blush. I want to say a few months ago, it was around 3 months ago, I saw the name blush for a word name, and I'm like, oh wow, that is so pretty. If you're wanting something just one syllable, it's really easy to add on to some really nice names to make it super unique. So I thought that KIRSI Blush just has that really pretty, gorgeous ring to it, and the meaning behind it is so cute, like frosty, rosy cheeks, really cute for maybe a winter baby. And then the name KIRSI Blush totally flows nicely with this next name. I feel like these ones could be like sibling names for girls or even twin names, but that is the name AMERIE Bliss. So spelled A-M-E-R-I-E-B-L-I-S-S, Bliss. AMERIE Bliss. But I got the name AMERIE from actually an artist that I used to listen to quite a ways back. It's actually a pop artist. Let me know if you guys remember her or know of her. But she's actually half Korean and half African American. She is so gorgeous. So when I was looking up the name AMERIE, it's actually an invented name with a kind of a mix of the name Amelia and Emery. And Amelia is actually a German originated name meaning work, and Emery is actually an English originated name meaning industrious. So it's a really strong, kind of female driven name, which I absolutely love, and that fits her so well because she is such an amazing artist and definitely well known back in the day when I was listening to her. And then I paired it with Bliss because it literally means pure joy. So I thought this pairs nicely together because obviously Amerie means work, working hard and very driven. And obviously when you love what you're doing, you are feeling pure joy. So I thought this was perfect for really great qualities for a driven young woman and definitely very empowering. Now moving back over to the boy side, this one is just so sweet, definitely unique, and oh my word, I feel like you guys are gonna absolutely love this one. And that is the name Rowie Bear. So spelled R-O-W-I-E and then Bear, B-E-A-R. I think this one is just such a perfect balance of sweet, Rowie, and bear, like strong, powerful for a little boy. So I took Rowie from the name Bowie, and Bowie is Scottish originated meaning blonde. And then I have this animal inspiration of bear. And the reason why I paired these guys together is because here in Canada, there's actually this blonde, whitish bear called the spirit bear. And the spirit bear, you can only find it in British Columbia, which is the west coast of Canada. And there's an actual native legend behind the spirit bear. And the reason why they were created was 1 in 10 black bears was actually blonde. They named it a spirit bear to represent the ice and the snow on the ground during the time. And then those spirit bears lived in this place called called the Great Bear Rainforest, and that's where they lived peacefully forever. And that's the actual legend and story behind the spirit bear. They're only found here in Canada, and they are so cool and definitely very sacred. So I thought it's definitely a very Canadian name, but Rowie Bear, I thought you guys would absolutely love that one. And then another boy's name that is definitely incorporating a place name that I am just so in love with, and that is the name Ira Madrid. So spelled I-R-A and then Madrid, M-A-D-R-I-D. The reason why I paired these two together is A, it sounds super exotic, and both of the A's play really nicely in the name. Ira Madrid. And even for a girl, Ira Madrid, like it works either way. And I find Madrid was a little bit harder to pair with just because it has that really stern ending, Madrid. It's kind of hard to pair a first name with it. Let me know what your first names for Madrid would be. But Ira is actually a Hebrew originated name meaning watchful one. And then Madrid is obviously a place inspired name inspired by the capital of Spain. And Madrid is an Arabic originated name meaning source of water. The names actually evolved over history and over time, but just altogether I thought this was a really multicultural name. It definitely sounds exotic. The middle name and first name doesn't really have to fully match as in like meaning, but I really feel like the names flow really nicely together, so that's how come I paired these ones. And now back over to the girl side, this one has kind of some medieval ties between the two names that I really like, but that is the name CAMBRIA MADDYN. So spelled C-A-M-B-R-I-A, and then MADDYN is spelled M-A-D-D-Y-N. There's two different ways that you could spell MADDYN, the Y-N or the E-N, but in this case I'm gonna do Y-N just because the meaning behind it is more medieval and it mixes well with Cambria. So Cambria is a Welsh and Latin name meaning the people, but way back in the day there was actually a kingdom called Cambria. It wasn't actually a city name or a village name, it was just called the Kingdom of Cambria. And then the name MADDYN is actually a Jewish name meaning one whose mother was a brave warrior. So that's specifically the meaning for the D-D-Y-N ending for MADDYN. Or if you were to do E-N, it's an Irish name meaning little dog. But I love the medieval aspect of one whose mother was a brave warrior. Like, I think that is so cool. She was kind of guarding the Kingdom of Cambria. Like, there's almost like a storyline with this name, Cambria MADDYN. I just thought, just with that medieval whimsical aspect and that powerful woman figure, I feel like the names flow so nicely together as well. So that's how come I picked this one with more of that vintage feel to it. And then onto another girl's name I have for you guys, and that is the name Cassia Primrose. So spelled C-A-S-S-I-A, and then Primrose, P-R-I-M-R-O-S-E. This one is a total nature and flower child, gorgeous name. I feel like it also has some modernness with the name Cassia, but it also has some vintage roots with the name Primrose. I also love how you can nickname her Cassie Prim, and I think that is just so adorable and very feminine. But Cassia is a Greek originated name meaning cinnamon, literally meaning like cinnamon tree. And then the name Primrose means first rose, and that's actually like a floral inspired name. So I thought that just two floral names, you're not directly calling them a flower name per se, but you have those floral elements in it, making it such a beautiful and girly name. And now another boy name that I have for you guys. The meanings behind it are just absolutely amazing. And this is the name Kenji Mars. So spelled K-E-N-J-I, and then Mars, M-A-R-S. I love celestial inspired names, and mixing it with a Japanese originated name, I am just all for it. So that's how come I paired these ones together, but also the meanings and the qualities, attributes behind this name are just amazing for a little boy. So you have the name Kenji, which is a Japanese originated name meaning healthy and strong. And then I paired the name Kenji with the middle name Mars because Mars adds this strength to it because it is a Roman mythology god of war. I just thought that with that celestial ties, the power, the strength, and then you have those quality attributes of healthy and strong for a little boy, I feel like it just added that balance to it. And then another boy's name that is just near and dear to my heart right now is the name Bodhi Atlas. So it's spelled BODHI, and then Atlas, ATLAS. I seriously love these nature, full-blown nature inspired names. I feel like it just sounds like a miniature beach babe, but with this exploration of the mountains. So it's almost like a beach vibe, but also a mountain vibe with it. And Bodhi sounds like the biggest hippie baby name ever. I've just been loving it. My brother's name is Cody, so Bodhi, Cody, it sounds just way too similar to me, and I just never made it a contender because of that reason. But oh my word, can we have more Bodhis in the world? But Bodhi is actually a Sanskrit name meaning awakening and enlightenment, and paired it with Atlas, which is another, it's just like KENJI Mars. It's pairing something super sweet with such great qualities and attributes, and then pairing it with Atlas, which is the Greek Titan god of exploration and navigation. Like, oh, I love this. It has nature written all over it. You have power mixed with really great attributes and almost like a very sweet name. So both of these could totally be sibling names, like KENJI Mars and Bodhi Atlas. Like, how amazing. Like, that is a head turner to me. I'll be like, excuse me, what did you say that your kids' names were? Oh, I love them. All right, so moving on to my next name combo. This is a girl's name, and I feel like this would totally be a contender if we had another girl, but that's not gonna happen. So someone, please use this. But that is the name PALMI AYLA. So spelled P-A-L-M-I and then AYLA, A-Y-L-A. So this one, PALMI, is actually a place name. It's a small commune. I feel like maybe it's like a coastal village, but commune in Italy, and it hosts some of Italy's most beautiful beaches. But the name PALMI, I can hear that palm tree in it, and it reminds me of the beach. And you guys know the beach is my heaven on earth. It's my happy place. And speaking of happy place and heaven on earth, the middle name Ayla is actually a Turkish and Hebrew originated name meaning halo or moonlight. And so together, PALMI Ayla literally describes a heavenly place on earth, which is the beach to me. Palm trees underneath the moonlight. I feel like this has a lot of symbolism and a lot of near and dear to my heart, so that's become, I absolutely love it, and I would definitely gun for it if we ever had another girl. And then onto a very whimsical sounding name. A lot of ladies have been absolutely loving this one on Instagram. I've seen it a few places, I've mentioned it a few times, but this is the name SKADI Blanche. So spelled S-K-A-D-I, SKADI, and then Blanche, B-L-A-N-C-H-E. And they fit perfectly together because SKADI is actually the Norse goddess of winter and snow, and she was just full of beauty. Like, she had a pet wolf, and she had like a spear that was all sparkly and just very enchanting, very magical. And then I paired Blanche because Blanche is literally a word name in French meaning white, and obviously the snow, majority of the winter is white, so I thought SKADI Blanche just adds that femininity, which I cannot say that word. It adds that feminine touch to the name, SKADI Blanche. So moving back over to the boy side again, this one is definitely very naturesque inspired, and I just found the first name not too long ago. So this is the name INDIO Forrester. So spelled I-N-D-I-O, Indio, and then Forrester, F-O-R-R-E-S-T-E-R. So this one is a total handsome bohemian style name. So you have the name Indio, which is the male version of the name India. So it's semi-place inspired, and you can still get that indie nickname for a boy, Indio. And then I paired it with Forrester because it's just like that KENZO SHEP. It has that surname feel, Forrester, instead of Indio Forest. I mean, you can totally go for that if you want. I just personally, between the two, I love the name Forrester just because it adds that extra oomph, the handsomeness to it, especially when you have that first name Indio, which is very bohemian. I thought that Forrester adds that sophistication, and you can still nickname him like Indie Forest. Like, how cute is that? I don't know, I love the pairing. I love how it's nature inspired. And then the next boy's name ties perfectly with Indio Forest. This one is ROSCOE AMIAS. So spelled R-O-S-C-O-E, and then AMIAS, A-M-I-A-S. I have seriously been loving the name Roscoe for a boy. I think it has this quirky sound to it. It's actually nature inspired, which I just figured out not too long ago. It's actually a Norse originated name meaning dear forest. And AMIAS adds this sweetness to it because AMIAS is Latin originated meaning loved. So I thought like dear forest, loved, I thought it was just like a sweet nature name. But for sibling names, I was actually playing around with INDIO Forrester and ROSCOE AMIAS. I actually was switching the middle names. So I was doing INDIO AMIAS and ROSCOE Forrester. I thought that could totally work well too. So whatever you are inspired with, they all work well together, especially as sibling names or maybe twin names, because they have those nature aspects to them and kind of that bohemian style too. All right, so moving back over the girl side, I have the name Mio Nouvelle. So it's spelled M-I-O and then Nouvelle, N-O-U-V-E-L. This one has been on my list for quite some time. I think it is so sweet with the 3-letter name, Mio. I think that's just so adorable. And Mio is actually Japanese originated meaning beautiful and cherry. So it does have that cherry meaning, just like the name KIRSI blush. So I feel like Mio Nouvelle and KIRSI blush, if you wanted to do kind of something a little bit more matching, but subtle matching, KIRSI and Mio, they both mean cherry. And then for the middle name of Mio, I added Nouvelle. So Mio Nouvelle, and Nouvelle means new in French. So together it literally means beautiful and new baby, or beautiful and new baby girl. So second to last girl's name that I'm going to share with you guys today is the name EMMERYN COVA. So I got the name EMMERYN, I literally made it up off of the name Emerson. I just added the R-Y-N instead of Emerson just to make it a little bit more feminine. Emerson's a German originated name meaning industrious. And then I took the name COVA, which is a name I've seen actually quite often as a variant of the name Cove. So instead of making this name Emerson Cove, I made it EMMERYN COVA. So I add that kind of feminine touch to it, made it a little bit more girlier. And behind the name industrious, it has a lot of, you know, perseverance, you know, hardworking, really great qualities behind a little girl. And then it also has those nature ties as well to it with Cove or COVA. But I really like this one just because you can still incorporate those cute nicknames like Cove, COVA, Emmy. They're all classic nicknames, but this one's just a little bit more different, definitely more uncommon, but so usable and so pretty. Now onto the final girl's name on the list, and then I'll have a couple boy names for you. But this one is the name Iria Sky. So spelled I-R-I-A and then S-K-Y. This one I feel has that beautiful dreamy sound to it. I love the name Iria. I actually just came about it, I want to say last week, in like I don't know, the deep web that I always end up in. I just thought the meaning was just so beautiful put together. Iria is a Portuguese originated name meaning peace, and then obviously sky is a word name meaning the sky. So together it literally means like peaceful sky, and to me it just sounds like such a dreamy name. Just symbolizes beauty to me, you know, like just a beautiful peaceful little girl. Moving on to 2 of my final boys names that I have for you guys. I'm gonna give you 2 more. So this next one I have is the name Essien Rome, so spelled E-S-S-I-E-N R-O-M-E. Essien's actually an African originated name meaning 6th born, but even if you don't have 6 kids or your 6th child wasn't a boy, you can still name him Essien because it actually also means child who takes charge of outside matters. So a very masculine meaning behind the name as well, and I paired it with the name Rome because Rome is one of my favorite biblical place names, or just place names in the world. I feel like it's a very handsome name for a little boy, and the name Rome symbolizes and means strength and power. I feel like a lot of my boy names tend to be very powerful sounding and have a lot of strength behind the meanings, and I feel like a lot of parents like that for a meaning behind their son. And then my very last name on this name combo list, I really hope you guys enjoy my taste. Like some of them are a little bit like more so out there, but I have meanings as to why the middle name's with the first name, and they have such great symbolisms behind them, and they almost tell a story. My very last name for you guys on the boy side is the name Ari Finch. So spelled A-R-I and then Finch, F-I-N-C-H. Ari is a Hebrew name meaning lion of God, and then Finch is inspired by a bird, like the finch bird. So the finch bird, specifically the zebra finch, was actually a big part of evolution because it taught us humans how birds learn to sing songs, like create the whole songbird type of realm for birds. I thought that was kind of cool. It has a little bit of a history, and I really love bird names like nightingale, lark, sparrow. Like, I love all those. Even raven. Oh my gosh, I love the name Raven. So all those names are so cool and unique, and I thought that Finch is a little bit more unusual because it's normally used as a surname, but I thought it was just so cute. You can also nickname him Finn because it has that fin in the finch. And then it just reminds me of the really cute and colorful birds. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed these definitely different name combos. If you guys want to hear more name combinations that I have, because let me tell you, I have quite a list. Let me know in the comments below, and then let me know in the comments below maybe some of your favorite name combinations to inspire others. I definitely will be inspired by all of your guys' picks. So definitely write them in the comments below. But again, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys next Sunday with another baby name list. Bye!